Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Transcend with M. And with us today is Maria Davila. And I am so happy to have you here, Maria. How are you?
Getting you?
I am good. Now that we're talking and excited about learning, certain parts of your story. I know we don't have all the time in the world to deep dig, and to
Mhm.
kind of like get it all out, but I think you have an amazing, powerful story that people needs to hear. So, are you ready to tell the world who you are?
Yes, I am ready.
All right, awesome. So, a little bit of the background of Maria. She is a very well accomplished individual, brilliant person, and she owns couple businesses and helps a lot the Latino community, not only building their businesses but maintaining their businesses and making sure that they are financially sound. And she does a lot more than that. But what intrigued me about Maria was her humility. And I want you to hear her story, her background, because I think you will be moved about everything she has to share with the world while still keeping that humility within her. So, Maria, tell us a little bit about you, your background, who you are.
Well, Maria is a mother of two. I have two children who I love very much, and this is the reason why I'm a business owner today. As a mother, we all look for a job that can actually work around our kids' schedules. So I knew it was hard to maintain an 8 to 5 job or an 8 to 6. So I decided to start my business around my kids' schedule. So everything started when I was very young. We moved here to, actually, we moved to Connecticut in 1989, and I was only 11 years old, and my mom didn't speak English. So I had to help her, and I had two siblings. So, as the oldest in a Latino family, we are responsible for our younger siblings. So, I had to raise my brothers and sisters. And while my mom was going to school and working, we would barely see her. She was working 16, 18 hours between school and work. So, I was those 18 hours being a mom and a sister and a cook while a
Mhm.
student. So that was my entire life till I was 18. But I was lucky enough to find a community called Latino Youth Development, and this company assisted children like myself at age 12 to become camp counselors. And like that, I
Yeah.
was able to bring my kids with, well, my brother and sister, who I call
Yeah.
my kids because I raised them, with me.
Yeah.
And while I was working, making money to help my mom, I was taking care of my brother and sister, so it was a win-win. And we
Yeah.
used to travel everywhere. They used to take us to the park. They used to take us to, to see animals and stuff like that. So we had
Yeah.
a lot of fun. It was crazy fun.
Yeah.
And then I started volunteering at the local nursing homes. And my mom was a CNA, so she used to bring me and my brother and my sister, and then I would do the elderly's hair and their nails. And that's how I like to, I love what I did. So I started working with people, and I got closer to people, and I said, this is what I like doing. I like giving back. So
Yeah.
by the time I was 18, I graduated from high school, and I wasn't allowed to go to college because I was still raising my brother and my sister. If I went to college, it would put a
Yeah.
burden on my mom. I needed to make money. So I went to vocational schools, and I took business law and graphic arts, and that's how I was able to work. Then after that, I took other programs, and I have over 25 certifications on different fields, and
Yeah.
that's how I built my business. So in 97, I moved to Massachusetts, and I started working with a gentleman, um, Mr. Valentine. He passed away recently. And
Oh,
this gentleman approached me, and he loved, I was working at a school, and he loved how I treated people. Every morning I would walk into the restaurant and say, "Good morning, everybody." And then I would buy my breakfast and I sit and go my way. And he kept watching me. And I thought he was kind of creepy because he kept looking at me. And I was like, one day he approached me. He says, "What do you do for a living?" And I looked at him and I was like, wait a minute, what do
uh,
you mean? And he goes, listen, I love your personality, and I'm opening a physical therapy office, and I will look for you to be the face. And I said, really? He says, how much you get paid now? And I told him, he was like, how about if I give you more money and you start the business? When I went there, they didn't even have an office space. They were still building it. So
Oh,
he gave me his credit card. I went with his wife. We got everything for the office, and I started everything from zero. And they loved me. I started writing for the newspaper about chiropractic and physical therapy. I ran the office. I did marketing. So I built that office. We got so busy that he moved me immediately to management. I wasn't there not even a year. He already had me in management. And then I started training people, and then he paid me to get certifications on how to be an assistant for physical therapy. And then from there, I moved on, and I trained his daughters, and then his daughters took over the business. And after that, then I moved on. I went to other chiropractic offices, and then I learned how to be a biller. I learned how to do chiropractic, and I learned how to do physical therapy, and I learned how to do so many things. So I freelanced for attorneys. And I loved it because the attorneys were paying me good money. And I was like, wait a minute, this is good. So they liked who I was. So they were like, Maria, have you thought of opening other offices? And I said, no. He said, how about if we pay you and you travel all Western Massachusetts and Connecticut and you start opening more offices for us? So I did that. So they were paying me for the hotel stay. They were paying me for traveling. It was amazing. I was gaining so much experience. And
yeah.
Dr. Langletz, he's amazing. He has always been with me. I met Dr. Langletz when he freshly got out of school from the chiropractic, doctor of chiropractic. He had just graduated.
Yeah.
And I met him and we clicked right away. And we became good friends. And when he opened his business, then I
Mhm.
went into working with him and I started doing management and marketing for him. And we were together for like 20 years. And he said to me, well, Maria, why don't you open a business on your own? You've been running businesses for everybody and you're freelancer for everybody. Why don't you do it for yourself? And I
Yeah.
said, I'm kind of scared. I'm scared of doing it because it's not the same thing of having a steady income than
Right.
having your own business. He said, you could do it, girl. We got your back. Me and my wife and I will support you 100%. And Dr. Helena sat with me and him, and Helena is amazing. So in 2014, I finally registered my first business and I named it Chiroprobillers Management in Notary Services. So I did billing for chiropractors and I did credentialing and I freelanced for attorneys. It was amazing. And then I didn't stay with that. I liked studying, so I studied other things, bookkeeping and so on, immigration paperwork. Then I started affiliating myself with other businesses and other programs. And I said, this is what I could do for the community. I could do this for them.
Mhm.
So I started working with the community. I started volunteering. So I volunteer for Bay State Pediatrics, and I am in the board. So I also volunteer as a policy counsel for the school department. I volunteer for the cheerleaders because my daughter is a cheerleader. And my son is autistic, so I volunteer for a lot of things that have to do with autism. And I'm one of those moms that when the kids go to school, I get involved into everything. So I start doing bowls for everybody, and I start doing lunches for everybody. And
Oh
my
my God, God bless you,
yeah,
man. Like you have too much energy.
I just love it. And my daughters and my son is like every time there's an event, they go like, "There it goes, just put my name in it because you know she's gonna sign up." So they
Yeah.
go ahead and they just put my name and they go like, "Mommy, you got to do this and that."
Yeah.
And in 2020 21 when COVID hit, I became really sick and I
Mm.
was working with an attorney and I got so sick I was hospitalized with COVID and while I was in bed I was working from my phone and here I am with oxygen and all these machines on and here I am texting clients and stuff like that. So I said when I get out I'm gonna open my own office, just my office because in my business I was running from other doctors' offices. I was
Yeah.
just running there doing the work. But I said I'm gonna set up my own office. So I did. I set up my office and then that's when Davila Pagan
Which
Enterprises LLC.
it was awesome. And we
Yes.
went to the opening and it was beautiful.
Thank
And I
you.
love it because it's
Thank
very
you.
well centralized. It's a beautiful office. You have
Yes.
plenty of space, and you have
Mhm.
a lot of people around you with businesses
Correct.
too. That
I
is
have
really
a team.
amazing.
I have an
Um,
amazing team. So with my team, so what I did was that I wanted to help women like me in minority.
yeah.
I wanted to help guys and females too, because guys are also victims of domestic violence. So
Mhm.
I was a victim of domestic violence for 20 years, and it was a struggle for me. So I wanted to help people because I didn't get any help. So I
Yeah.
wanted to show other people that they could do it, no matter how bad they get treated. So what I do in my business is that they come with an idea, and I tell them, listen, if you're good at this, let's get you registered. Let's start your business. So when they leave my office, they're registered with the state, with the federal, they're registered with the city. I apply for grants for them, for loans if they need business loans. I help them with grant writing, and then I set up their business accounts. I do their logos and their website. So they live with everything from here. And then I allow them to use my office so they could meet their clients, so it looks professional. So I have about 9 offices in this location, and I have 2 big classrooms. So I do free classes for taxes. If they want to do taxes and open their own business as a tax preparer, they can do that. So I certify them, and I get them all the paperwork they need, and I register them. I'm also doing for life insurance, insurance broker, for health insurance, for life insurance, mortgage brokers. So that's a different license. And I'm also helping them now to be travel agents. So what I do is that I get them a grant to cover for the expenses. So normally, like for example, to be a travel agent is $3,000, but with my program, it's only $200, and they have their own company, and I set up their
Yeah.
logo, and then they sell, trips to anywhere, whether it's by, boat or flights or hotel stay, car.
Yeah.
So my main idea is to get as many people out of the government.
Yeah.
And the reason behind this is because while the government has us living on welfare, and they have us living in shelters and in condominium, they control what we do and where we live. But
Yeah.
if we make minority business owner, then we could stand our ground, and the government cannot choose for us. And then we
Yeah.
could choose where to live. We could give our children a better future. And that's my main focus. So with that said, right now, that's one of the things that I'm doing. And I'm happy because I just got named an ambassador for Mujer Emprende Latina. So
Yeah.
they also do the same thing, and I'm excited to be working with them
Yeah.
because they are nationwide. So they
Yeah.
offer grants and scholarships. So
Yeah.
if there is something that one of the in the community want to study, I could apply
Mhm.
for that scholarship. It gets paid, and then I set up their business,
Yeah.
which is excellent. So
Right.
these are things that I love doing.
Yeah. So I want to dig a little bit because, of course, this podcast is about, elevating women. And,
Mhm,
you brought up, the fact that your mission is completely focused on helping, victims of domestic
mhm,
violence and minorities, and making sure that we can give them a better future so we can break the cycle. So
mhm,
tell me a little bit more about that story, and how and why it's so important that we kind of take a stand on helping, and extending ourselves into these communities, because it is a big problem right now. We kind of put our blind eye to it, but it is a big problem right
mhm.
now.
It is a big problem, especially because a woman, not only women, because there are a lot of men that are victim of domestic violence, and a lot
Yeah.
of people don't acknowledge them because they see men as the strongest in the food chain. In reality, they're not. They're equally hurt as us women. There are strong bad women out there, but I focus in helping everybody that has been through domestic violence, and a lot of people don't realize that domestic violence doesn't necessarily mean somebody beating
Oh,
you up. It
right.
also means somebody financially abusing you. If you're working and your partner takes your money and tells you you cannot use it, or you get paid $300, but he gives you $20 so you could do groceries, and then on top of that, you got to give them a receipt to prove that. That's financially abusing you. So that's domestic violence. If somebody's screaming at you, belittling you, or threatening you, let's say you're an immigrant, right? And your partner is a U.S. citizen, and he keeps telling you, "Well, if you don't have sex with me, I'm gonna call ISIS, or I'm gonna call immigration, or if you don't do this for me, or if you don't give me your check, I'm gonna call immigration." That is mental abuse. That's also domestic violence. So there are multiple ways of being in a domestic violence relationship. I was in a domestic violence relationship for 20 years, but before that, I was in a domestic violence as a child.
Mhm.
My parents we come from a long family of domestic violence. So I wanted to break the cycle, but in my mind, I kept thinking, I'm going to fix him. I kept making
Yeah.
excuses. Oh, well, when he drinks, he acts like a jerk. If I bring him
Yeah.
to AA meetings, he's gonna stop
Yeah.
drinking. He's gonna stop beating me. I lost a child due to the beating, and he broke an arm. Now I have a brain tumor
Wow.
because he separated my skull from my brain. So when I got diagnosed with that in 2013, I said, "That's it. This is it."
Yeah.
It's gonna kill me. And I have a child, and then I got pregnant of my son, and I said, oh my God, I don't want my son to grow seeing this. So I needed to get rid of him.
Mhm.
And that's when I made my decision 6 years ago. We split, and it was the best decision I have ever made.
Wow.
And people kept telling me, I don't know how you do it, Maria. You've been through so much, and you're still a business owner. You still go and smile, and you still help people. But I always tell everybody, if you allow your past and everything that hurts you
Mhm.
bring you down, you're never going to come afloat. You cannot live in darkness, because then
Yeah.
your life is going to be misery your entire life.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough. I lost trust in men. I It's hard for me to trust a man. It's hard for me to do anything.
Mhm.
But a year ago, I met this gentleman, and we got married.
Ah, that's amazing.
And I cannot say he's a saint in heaven, but he's the best I've met so far. And
Better
I'm
keep up.
thankful for him. Yes, he's great with my children. One of the things that was worrying me was, like, I'm never gonna meet somebody that's gonna love me with my scars.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so, but he does. He knew what I went through. He knows what my kids went through, and he's so
Yeah.
gentle with my kids, and I will forever be thankful for that. But I worked hard. I continued to study. I didn't allow it to put me down. I used that as a weapon to be successful, to show my kids that no matter how many times I was being beaten down, I was getting up.
Yeah.
And I am here today doing that. And that's what I tell all the girls. I talk to girls in shelters. I talk to girls and gentlemen that I have been, incarcerated for that reason too,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of innocent people in jail too. I
Yeah.
have met multiple gentlemen that have been in domestic violence, but because we live in a state that is all about women, when you go to court and the woman say, oh, he hit me, automatically the man goes to jail.
Yeah.
And no matter how many times he said, I didn't do it, the judge don't believe them. So there's a lot
Mm.
of innocent guys in jail for that. So when they come out, I try to help them build their business, because then once they're in jail, nobody wants to give them an opportunity.
No, no, there's
So we do that too here. We help them with, they're good painters, they're good contracting, so we get them their licenses and we set them up and they're good to go.
yeah.
But to everybody that has been in an abusive relationship, don't stay in there. An abuser will always be an abuser. They never
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
Never
And
change.
that it's you can't change people.
No.
People can only change themselves, right? So if someone is unwilling and it always falls back into
Mhm.
what the usual is, there is no saving. They have to do their work themselves. You cannot do it for them.
Exactly.
And I think you can be a supporter just like you are doing, right? I will support you to get a better life, but that person needs to want to have
Exactly.
a better life.
Exactly.
So I think it is very commendable what you are doing, because and I appreciate you not taking a bias side into the whole situation, because it is hard to go through abuse and then have the homelessness to actually say, hey, I know this happened to me, and it was done by a male, but they also deserve, an opportunity. And I think that's so humbling of you.
Yes, it is correct. I believe a lot of men deserve a second chance, and a lot of men deserve to be respected and cared for. And it's like I tell I tell them, listen, my husband is so funny because my husband tells me all the time, when we first met, I was the one bringing him flowers.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's something I should do. And I'm like, why? Because you're the man? No, I have to pamper you too. You know what I mean? So it's funny. Like, a lot of people don't see men because they
Yes.
assume men have to have a certain way of treating a woman. And that's not how it goes. When you're partners, you both are equally treated. You
Yeah.
both get pampered. You both get respected. You both have to love each other. You both share everything.
Yeah.
So, that's the way I think. And I wish a lot of people thought the same way. But for the women that are listening to this video and they are in a domestic violence and they have immigration problems, just so you know, I know it has nothing to do with this, but you do have rights. Just because you're here illegally, that does not mean that you don't
Yeah.
have rights. And I, in my office, we do not charge for asylum. We help you fill out the paperwork and we
Mhm.
submit it. There's no charge for it. It's completely free. And I have been lucky enough to have helped a lot of women go through that, and
Yeah.
they have gotten approved in less than a month, so by the
Wow.
government. So if
That's
you're in an
amazing.
abusive relationship, you have to speak up.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree. So, Maria, tell me a little bit about, you are helping a lot of the community there. So tell me a little bit about the satisfaction that comes with, you know, being that powerhouse that is available to help others. I know it sounds like a selfish question because it's to talk about yourself, but I also think that behind the satisfaction of growing a business, there is also a lot that personally helps you to keep going. So how does it feel that so many people can count on you?
It feels awesome because when I was getting, when I started, when I was young, I didn't have that backup. I'm always
Yeah.
somebody else's backup.
Mm,
So I grew up thinking I'm always needed somewhere.
yeah.
So when people come here, it's funny you say that because when people come here, they think I'm either their family member or their therapist. But they come here for a business and they are talking about their private life and they cry, they hug me, and they're like, "Oh my God, Maria!" And I feel good because if they see that they could trust me,
Yeah.
that means I'm doing a good job. And I have
Right.
people that have been with me for 15 years, 20
Yeah.
years. It's amazing. And I have people that say, "Hey, my sister referred me to you, and my cousin referred me to you." Most of my business, like, I literally don't spend any money in advertising. Most of my business is word of mouth.
Yeah.
I have family members after family members. I do taxes too, and they love how I always get them a lot of money. So they're always calling, "Hey, my uncle said you got this amount. Can you get me this amount too?" I'm like, "Let me see, what can I do?" So it's
I'm coming.
amazing.
I'm coming to you, Maria. I need money. I don't want to
No,
pay
I
any
really
more
love it.
money.
No, but I do love it. It gives me a sense of accomplishment to help people. And I think
Yeah.
I don't do it because I'm not the type to record when people give me compliments. I don't post them on Facebook. I don't do any of that because I don't look for validation. But
Yeah.
I believe that the more good I do in life, the more stars I get above in heaven. And when I
Yeah.
get to depart this world, I'm gonna go to a safe place. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
That's
So
amazing. I
so
love
that's, yeah, I like doing things.
I
You know.
love it. I love it. So, for those women listening today, what is the message of empowerment that you want to give them so they can keep moving forward?
Stop being scared. Stop being scared. There's nothing. worse than being scared. Change your mindset. Everything that you think and you say comes to reality. So if you think you're going to be successful and you say, I am going to be successful, you will be successful. Instead of looking at yourself in the mirror and feeling sorry for yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a strong woman. I will do this. You don't know how many times I had to do that with tears and with swollen face after beating, and I stood up in front of the mirror and I used to say, I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to be alive. I'm going to be able to raise my kids. I'm going to be successful. And here I am.
Yeah. And I think it speaks to your character too. You know, you are um amazing. And I think if
Thank
all
you.
the good that you are doing and that you've been doing for others for so many years is paying back. And there
Yes.
is a lot of truth to that. Like the more so I really appreciate you being here and having the courage to share your story and share with us all the amazing things and your why. I think is extremely powerful, and I cannot wait to like work more with you when I open on the office on it's Tuesday. I am
I
so
know. I'm
excited.
excited too. I can't wait.
I
I was looking
know.
through clothes. I was like, what do I wear? How do I do my hair? I was like, I need to look professional and
I know.
excited. And I was like, oh my Lord, it's going to be fun. I can't wait.
I am so excited to like, get to like work with all of you and just grow together and just help each other and uplift each other. So I really appreciate you guys welcoming me into the new community.
I
Um
know. You're going to love it
and
here. People are really, really, you're going to love it here. You're going to get so many clients. It's crazy. I mean, you're going to
yeah.
see.
Yes, and I really appreciate it. So, again, thank you so much for being here. I know it's a Friday night and that, we all have families to go to, but your story, it was something that I did not want to pass on. So, this is Maria Davila, everybody. If you need anything, if you want an ear, or do you need any business advice or anything that she can help you with, please reach out to her and check the notes more of, her story, her business, and her contact information. So thank you, Maria, and have an amazing night.
You're welcome. You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.